Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live stream, the livecast, whatever you're watching on, whether you're watching on Facebook, well, not on Facebook, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on TikTok, or whether you're watching on X. We are talking about the mass protests that have broken out all over the United Kingdom right now. So as we understand it, there are protests all over the country, protests, counter protests. It's going absolutely bonkers. I'm going to weigh in on this, guys. I'm going to weigh in on this right now. I'm going to weigh in on this, guys, right? We've got to understand what effect this is going to actually happen. And I know this is going to be this is going to be an unpopular opinion for a lot of people, but I don't think it's going to change much in the grand scheme of things, guys. What it is going to do, it's going to unite people and divide people. I know that sounds contradicting, but it's not. It's going to unite people in a common cause, but also it's going to divide communities. So whereas normally you would have differences in communities coming together and gelling, now you're going to have divisions, but you're also going to have people united. So look, guys, just as not really breaking news, it's 56 minutes old. That's how quick we run on this channel, guys. 56 minutes is not breaking news. I want to go over to Epping right now, guys. So something really important in Epping has just happened. And I've done videos about this, and I said this is what's going to happen. Let me just put the thing on.
This is Adam Brooks, and it looks like a load of the women have broken out of the metal fences and are now sitting in the middle of the road in Epping. Women dressed in pink are now breaking free from the metal fencing and sitting in the road.
So now, look, guys, remember when I did the video? Look, ladies and gentlemen, all my videos are public record. You can go back. I don't say things in there. Like, I don't say things that are going to happen and they don't happen. When I say that things are going to happen, normally they happen. And one of the things I said, look, ladies and gentlemen, these protests now, this is a nanan's protest. This is a woman's protest, because you can see the optics now, can't you? And like the police, what do you do with that? What do you do with like all police training? All the training and all the rehearsals that the police have gone through, it is to deal with people who you would perceive as far right, throwing petrol bombs, throwing rocks, throwing stones. They know how to deal with that. Do you know what they don't know how to deal with? They don't know how to deal with a lady who's 50, 60, maybe 70 years old, cutting through a fence and sitting down and saying, no, I'm not moving. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with how do you deal with I'm going to say it, how do you deal with an old lady pushing through? It's virtually impossible, guys. You are on the, like, whatever the police are, they are on. Did I get it? Whatever happens there, guys, when you start having to deal with old ladies, you're on the losing foot. What are the police going to do? They're going to come down heavy with baton sticks and start like whacking old ladies. Yeah, the optics of that are going to be good. Yeah, like, can you imagine what Donald Trump's going to say about that? So then you let these old nanans push through. What happens then? Well, you're going to be the douchebag who's being defeated by some old ladies. Look, guys, I've said it again. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. These protests, there's going to be more influence if the women. And I'm saying this as a man who's been on all these roles, ladies and gentlemen. Look, guys, for a little bit of context, I'm ex-military. I'm a veteran, obviously, because I'm ex-military. I've worked with the police. I've worked with the services. I want a strong military. I want a strong police force. I want a strong government. I want a strong legal system. I've done all those jobs in public order. I've stood there with a riot shield having petrol bombs thrown at me. I've sat in the van with the camera trying to identify the ringleaders. I've been in the crowds trying to make covert arrests. I've advised government, so I do know what I'm talking about, guys. I do know what I'm talking about. And the women here, guys, like, if these women can mobilize and push forwards through the police, the police can do nothing, guys. The police can do nothing to these ladies. Like, what are they, like, literally, guys, put yourself in that scenario. What are you going to do? You're going to start hitting old ladies with baton sticks? How do you deal with that? And the reason that the police don't know how to deal with this is because they've never come across this before. All the training they do with their riot shields, it is against young men. And now they're looking at these these senior ladies, let's call them senior ladies. Senior ladies dressed in pink saying, no, 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 we want to come through the barrier. We're coming through the barrier. Get out of our way. What do you do? What do you do as an officer? You're there as an officer. You're thinking like, right, do I like clobber this? Like, hang on, let me get the thing up. Do I like use my thing and and clobber the old lady, or do I let her go through? Because that's the choice right now. Look, guys, right now this is a Nanan's battle, guys. This is a Nanan's battle right now. But look, ladies and gentlemen, somebody just put in the TikTok comments. What's going to happen? What's going to happen ultimately? The people who are making money from this, so the people who are putting people in hotels, the people who are making money, basically, they're sat in yachts, on yachts, maybe in yachts, I don't know, sat on a yacht somewhere, making a ton of money, looking at this on their phone and thinking, well, the police are dealing with it. It's not affecting my bottom line. People are getting angry, so what? And that's why I've always said we're going to move into the winter of doom. I just did a video on TikTok about this, guys. People are going to understand that all this protesting, in the grand scheme of things, apart from unity, it's not going to achieve anything because the people are still getting rich. So what people will do, and ladies and gentlemen, this may be an unpopular opinion, but that was a bit weird. Hang on, give me a second. But what people will do then is start to target the policymakers, start to target the people who are making the money, start to target the people who have influence. And that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about when I talked about the winter of doom, ladies and gentlemen. So right now we're in the summer of carnage. It's happening, guys. It's happening. I'm not convinced of the ferocity of this. I genuinely, when I was talking about the summer of carnage before, I did expect there to be a lot more capacity, a lot more ferocity. It is what it is, guys. You know, it is what it is. But we are going to move into the winter of doom. Alas. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let me jump up and get some comments. I'm going to go, in fact, let's continue that video from Epping, guys. Adam Brooks. He looks like a cool guy, doesn't he, Adam Brooks? I think I'd like to be his mate.
In Epping, this is a very, very powerful statement by the women of Epping. They're now sitting in the road and more are walking up to join them. Wow.
So just to let me paint the scene, guys, okay? Women have broken through the fences in Epping and they're just sat on the floor peacefully. It's very difficult to deal with, guys. It's almost impossible to deal with. I remember a scenario when I was operating in Afghanistan. You would go into a room, and what people would do, they would just lay on their hands and lay on their stomachs. It's very difficult to deal with. You don't know what they're holding. You don't know what to do. They're not a threat. You can't use those things. So it's very difficult to deal with. So it's very difficult to deal with. So I think this is a similar tactic.
Now, sitting in the road by ladies all dressed in pink. They're refusing to stay behind the metal fencing. The police don't seem to know what to do at this point. It's going to be very interesting to see how.
What did I say? Ladies and gentlemen, look, guys, honestly, like, I don't have a time machine. I don't have a magic mirror where I can predict the future. I really don't, guys. I really don't. I've not seen this video before. And even if I have, this was posted 56 minutes ago. I've done videos on this, like before the summer holidays even started. What I said in those videos is it's very difficult to deal with ladies. Very difficult to deal with ladies who are being peaceful. It's so difficult to deal with them, guys.
How this unfolds.
I've not seen this video, guys.
frantically getting on their walkie-talkies. They do not know how to handle this. This is all women sitting down in the road.
How many times did I say this, guys? All my stuff's public record. Like, it's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. This is going to be a nanans. This is going to be a nanans movement, guys. It's going to be a nanans movement. If this was young men, if this was me sat down there, I would get moved forcibly. The ladies, the senior ladies, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you deal with it? Do you go in there with the bat and stick? Like, you can imagine the optics there, right? So, yeah, look, guys, this is a nanans movement, guys. It's a nanans movement, and more power to them.
The women of Epping are leading the charge to shut down the migrant hotels. They are now sitting in the road despite the police orders.
I've genuinely not watched this video, ladies and gentlemen. I swear to, honestly, guys, I have not watched this video. I'm not making this up. I've not watched this video.
This is astonishing. The police do not know what to do.
So just to paint the picture, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining, in fact, guys, I've not even started yet, have I? If you've not done so already, guys, can you hit that follow button, the like, comment, subscribe, bell notification? We are triple streaming today, guys. Listen, you guys know how many times I get, how much I get restricted, how much I get banned on TikTok. So please go and show your support on YouTube. Go and show your support on X as well, guys. We are triple streaming simultaneously. I'm going to be giving live commentary throughout, well, as long as we can. Mass protest broken out all over the United Kingdom. It is 13 minutes, is it 13 minutes past 8. I don't think we're only just seeing the beginnings of these things, guys. You've got to understand, people will be in the pub, people will be doing stuff, people will be finishing work, and more people will come to these protests. The more energy these protests gather, exponentially, the capacity will rise.
Astonishing scenes in Epping. The women of Epping are fighting back and leading the charge to shut these hotels. I just hope the police are understanding here.
Guys, look, I'm looking at the crowd now, and I'm going to give you my analysis of looking at that crowd in Epping now. This was from 56 minutes ago. I'm going to try and get you guys an update, but from my analysis, my professional opinion of the crowd in Epping, there's a lot of energy there, guys. There is a lot of energy. There's a lot of capacity. I think things are going to go south, guys. I really do. I think things are going to go south in Epping, because what will happen is, as the night progresses or decesses, is decesses a word? I don't even know it. I'm not, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this channel, I make up quite a lot of words. If decesses is not a word, it should be a word. So as the night decesses into, into later on, you will start to see more hardliners come out. Right now, there's a lot of symbolism. Right now, there's the ladies sat down in Epping, refusing to move. They've broken through the police line. And as Adam Brooks says, as I said a couple of weeks ago, ladies are leading the charge, guys. Ladies are leading the charge.
Save Our Kids is ringing out on the streets of Epping. The roads are now filled with women. Absolutely astonishing.
I promise you guys, I promise you, I've not watched this video, and even if I have watched this video was posted 56 minutes ago. I said this would happen at least a couple of weeks ago.
And as a local resident myself with 2 daughters, how can I disagree with this? These women are standing up for their families and their children.
Right, that video. Right, guys. Let me try and find an update on this. Give me a second now. I will jump on the comments in a second, guys. There's right, let me find. Yeah, it's just literally, guys, like protests have broken out all over the United Kingdom today. I'm just going to read these. Aldershot, Altrincham, Birmingham, Bournemouth, Chestnut. Chestnut, is that a place? There's a place in the. I didn't even know there was a place called Chestnut. Chestnut, Chichester, Epping, Leeds, London, Norwich, Portsmouth, Southampton, and Wolverhampton. They are the places of protest this evening, guys. And the protest banner that's been banned: stop rewarding illegals. No masks, no alcohol, pure patriotism. Oh, can't I have a few beers? I do like having a few beers. End migrant musical chairs, locally led peaceful protest. That's the key, ladies and gentlemen, locally led. We're all looking for someone else to help us. We're all looking for, this biker gang where is that biker gang gone? Like, where have those guys gone? What were they called? The Beard UK or something? Like, the guys with the biker gangs with the tattoos on their face, and I'm a big biker, I've got tattoos on my face, I'm gonna, Like, what's happened? Look, guys, I don't want to throw negativity on those guys. I don't know where they've gone. I don't know what they've done with your donations, but I don't see them. I don't see them swizzling anywhere. South Coast looks like it's getting serious. There's people looks like people are in melee with the police. Look, guys, I keep saying this. The melee, the carnage, the damage is not going to be done at any of those places. So, the places we just read there, guys, Aldershot, the list I just read. That is not where it's going to happen, guys. Where the carnage is going to happen is in somewhere that we don't even know, where people mobilize, they get together really quickly. And if you guys think about a Viking raid, the success of the Viking raid was because nobody knew they were coming. They were coming from a direction nobody expected. They moved in really quickly and then they got out. That is a Viking raid. And I think, and I've said this before, guys, we are looking at sword and sandals tactics in the United Kingdom very soon. Right, I'm going to jump onto the comments now, guys. Right, guys, the comment, the chat is open, so there's a lot of comments, guys. I do apologize. I really do apologize if I can't get, I really do apologize if I can't get to anyone's comments. I've just scrolled up a little bit. It's a funny old, let me pin this. It's a funny old, this is weird, guys. This is weird that I can pin this comment, but then yesterday there was a comment on photography and asteroids and I wasn't allowed to pin it. It's a funny old world is commenting. UK will become one big Northern Ireland, really violent IRA style and paramilitary groups. It's very scary. Yeah, that's where we're going, guys. It really is. Somebody asked me earlier on the live stream, they said, do you think it could get as bad as the Troubles? And I said, look, I think the United Kingdom is heading to a phase where it's going to be like the Troubles, but with mass amounts of creatine, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Louise Webb is saying a GB News reporter just got whacked on the head by a lefty with their placard. Well, surely that's assault, right? Surely that is like assault. That is literally the definition of assault. And then the funny old world is saying, it's a funny old world is saying, you're a smart dude, Sean. You know your stuff, mate. Thank you so much for your kind words. I do know my stuff when I'm in my lane. I do, guys. When I'm in my lane, I know my stuff. When people talk about legal systems in the United Kingdom, and look, guys, I will just say to you guys, like, I'm not an expert on that. When it comes to military policing, tactics, strategy, tanks, guns, bombs, trains, planes, and automobiles, I am all over that, ladies and gentlemen, more than most. So thank you very much. It's a funny old world. Rose is saying, I have heard you say this numerous times. Thank you, guys. Doddsbra is saying, the Nanans movement won't achieve anything, though, unfortunately. Yeah, like, I'll come back onto that, Doddsbra. I will. I think they will achieve a lot, actually. Do you know what? Okay, it depends what we mean here by, let me just pin this actually. Where did that comment go? Where is the comment? Where has the comment got? There it is. It's like fishing for comments at the moment. Right. So, So Dodsbra on TikTok. Guys, listen, I'll come over to YouTube in a second, guys. I'll come over to YouTube in a second. Dodsbra is saying the Nanans movement won't achieve anything, though, unfortunately. I agree and I disagree. I agree in the context that it won't affect the bigger picture, but what I think it will do is unify people. It will bring people together. It will bring people together to mobilize at a local level. I agree. I don't think it's going to stop the amount of migrants coming to the United Kingdom. I mean, how are these how are these protests? They will close hotels. The hotels will get closed down, guys, right? But then if we look at the United Kingdom holistically, if these people keep coming to the United Kingdom, they've got to be put somewhere. So ultimately, we're still going to have the same problem. But I do think it is going to have some sort of, I do think it will have some, it will unify people. Mikey is saying it's going to kick off here in Bournemouth. Now the illegals are getting, are being housed in hotels. Where did I go? Jack Cord is saying, and Crick in Northamptonshire. JC's Ace is saying, no, there's more police than people these days, but they should be ashamed, need to house our own first. This is what I think I'm talking about. Well, it's not what I think I'm talking about. I know I'm talking about it. The amount of what we're talking about now, guys, the numbers don't add up. The numbers purely on a numbers game, mathematics, and you guys know I love doing Raven maths. You guys know I love doing Raven maths. My Raven maths, which is seldom wrong, my Raven maths dictates that there are not enough police. There are not enough police to operate in these numbers at these locations. This is why I keep saying the carnage, the real carnage will happen when a hotel that's outside a planned protest gets some kids, 20, 30 kids conduct a raid on a hotel. They get really angry and they go and do something at that hotel. These hotels, these hotels ultimately are soft targets, and that's where I think the carnage is going to happen, guys. And then moving into the winter, I think I know we're going to have the winter of doom. Mikey is saying Bournemouth Echo Facebook post on hotels equals comments from so many locals looking to protest. Bob Slay saying, evening, Sean. I wonder how these police officers feel when they go home to their own daughters. What a fantastic question. I mean, I think it's a rhetorical question, isn't it? Yeah, it's obviously a rhetorical question, but yeah, what a powerful statement from Bob Slay. Bob Slay is saying, evening, Sean. I wonder how these police officers feel when they go home to their own daughters. Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? You go home to your daughters, you're looking at your paycheck, and you're looking at your little girls laid in bed. Unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable scenes we're looking in the United Kingdom. James is saying, remember the Garden Angels of Newark, Bournemouth have 200 people signed up for a similar group. I don't know what that is, James. James, if you could give me more information on that. I don't know what that is. Rob Carruth is saying only a few hundred at the protests. Stop. Right. Let me pin your comment, Bob. Hang on. Let me find your comment, Bob. Where's it gone? Right, Bob. So good old Bobby boy. Bobby is saying only a few hundred at the protest. Stop scaremongering. I think he means scaremongering. So, Bob, what protest are you talking about right now? What protest are you talking about? Bob. So Bob. So Bob, good sir, good friend. Let me tell you how things work. The protests, because they've broken out in so many locations, and I'll just read them to you again because you probably wasn't on before. We've got Potter's Hotel, Cresta Court, we've got Ramada Solihull, we've got Britannia, Marriott Hotel, Park Hotel, Bell Hotel, Britannia Hotel, Canary Wharf, Thistle Barbican, Brook Hotel, Royal Beach Hotel, Highfield House, and Britannia Hotel in Wolverhampton. Because these protests, and there's a lot more than a few hundred, because these protests have broken out at local level. One, they're more sustainable. Two, you get real people there. You don't have to get people shipped in from other places. You get passionate people. And a few hundred people who are passionate about something will always achieve more than a few thousand people who are getting paid. Look back through history, my friend. Look back through history. These things happen. Right, where's Bob? Where's Bob? Where's Bob? I want to get Bob back. Where is he? There is he. Right. So that's the first thing. I think it's better that there's hundreds of people at these protests rather than 1,000 because that stretches the police resources. Right, where's Bob's comment gone? Right, you said we would be in World War III 3 years ago. Bob, I've only been on social media for a year and a half. Yes, in 2022, in my personal circles, I said by 2025, Britain would be leading in Ukraine and the United States would be focusing on the Middle East. Now, tell me I'm wrong, Bob. Tell me I'm wrong, Bobby boy. Listen, Bob, if you're going to come up with a comment, at least don't, please try and articulate it because I get up pretty early in the morning and I eat my greens. Right, I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Jane Taylor on YouTube is saying, Sean, is there any current lives from Epping? There are lives from Epping, guys. I'm going to be getting all the live streams up in a minute, but I've got a lot of information I'm trying to get through at the moment. So yes, there is. I will be getting on that in a minute. I need to take my watch is going crackers as well. I'm getting messages through to my personal accounts on my watch. It's all going off, ladies and gentlemen. It's all going right, guys. Listen, I'm going to jump off screen for a second, and then I'll jump back. Give me a second. So the images that we are getting from social media, I guess, there's a lot of energy in this crowd, guys. There's a lot of energy in all the crowds I'm seeing now. I've said this. We're reaching a scenario where guys, listen. I'm triple streaming at the moment. I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on TikTok. I'm streaming on X. All my names are the same, guys. The Real Raven 1. I'm the Real Raven 1 on TikTok. I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. And alas, I am the Real Raven 1 on what's the other one? On X as well, guys. I'm the Real Raven 1. I am the Raven. I guess I am. I'm the Raven. So if you want to go show your support there, guys, you guys have seen how many times I get blocked and banned and restricted. The YouTube algorithm, it doesn't restrict me as much. I've ever been restricted already. No, I've not been restricted yet on TikTok, but I think it's coming. I'm just jumping up and getting these comments, guys. I'm just jumping up and getting these comments. Kevin Brown is saying, think of the geography. Yes, exactly. Think of the geography. Think of the geography. They have put these migrants in every town and city across the country. This is what I'm talking about, guys, okay? So what is going to happen after these protests? These protests, they are a brilliant uniter. They're uniting people. They're bringing people together with a common cause, and that's always a good thing. They're bringing people together with a common cause. But unfortunately, unless we can stop the flow coming over the channel, the problem is just going to get worse. And although they may close the hotels down, where are they going to put them then? They'll put them there in houses. So then what do? She's like, oh, right, you see where I'm going with this? And this is why the summer of carnage will turn into the autumn of reflection. And then the autumn of reflection will turn into the winter of doom. And the winter of doom is when people think, all those protests didn't achieve nothing. We need to start identifying these people who are making these decisions, the people sat on yachts, the people making billions of pounds from housing these migrants. I'm talking about black. I need to be careful. I'm not. Everyone's happy, guys. Everyone's happy. The world is full of peace and love and joy. And I, for one, I'm full of peace and love and joy. Right, I'm just going to jump over to YouTube, guys. Lisa Jane is saying, oh, thank you guys for reposting. Listen, guys, I don't do this as much as I should. Can you guys like, follow, subscribe, bell notification, all those buttons that help this channel grow, guys, okay? Whatever those buttons are, whether you're watching on TikTok, YouTube, or X, please press those buttons, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, tap the screen if you're watching. I don't even know what tapping the screen does, guys, anymore. You know, we're all supposed to tap the screen on TikTok, but I don't know what it does. Like, I don't know who gets anything. I don't know. We'll tap the screen if you want, guys. If your fingers are hurting, don't worry about it. You know what, guys? Don't worry about it. Right, there's lots of people on YouTube. Guys, everybody, I'm going to do a general message to people on YouTube who are saying, have I seen what's happening here? Have I seen what's happening there? There's so much stuff happening, guys, right now. It's very difficult to try and get everything, so I will have missed some things. God, this is a name here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, you guys know what I'm talking about. Mephistopheles, I think that is. Mephistopheles on YouTube is saying, deport leftist traitors. Deport them to where, though? Deport them to where? I mean, these guys are, a lot of these guys are British citizens. Right, let me jump back, guys. Let me jump back. So I am wanting to get the latest from Norwich. I do think the most energy and the most likelihood of things going bad is in Norwich. Hang on, guys. What have we got? Protest against illegal immigrants. Yeah, we've got that one. It doesn't. Oh, hang on. Right, I'm just scrolling through social media now, guys, to try and find what's the latest, what's been happening. So, as a quick update, guys, just as a quick recap, the situation in Epping has gone like I said it would, where this has been led. Oh, hang on. Right, so the scenes in Norwich, guys, the numbers are there in Norwich, right? The numbers are huge in Norwich. The numbers are huge in Norwich, but it doesn't look like they have that energy in the crowd. They certainly have the energy in Epping. Epping looks like they have a lot of energy. The crowd that I'm looking from right now from Norwich, they don't seem to have the energy. I'm just trying to scroll down. So, as a quick recap, ladies and gentlemen, the situation in Epping, it went to a Nanan's war very quickly. What do I mean by a Nanan's war? So you've got to consider these the police officers. I've done it. I've done this as a role. I've trained the police. I've done every role. I think every role. I've pretty much done every role. When we're talking about public order, standing there with a riot shield, unless there's probably a new role now with drones or something that I've not done, but I'm quite accomplished in that sphere. So you've got to understand this, guys, all right? When the police are being trained, they're being trained to deal with people throwing bricks, people throwing rocks, people getting leery, people throwing Molotov cocktails. That's how they're getting trained. And I said this in quite a few videos. I said, look, how do you react as an officer? Because you've had no training on it. Very difficult to react to something when you've had no training, because you're like, oh, what do I do here? Am I going to get in trouble for this? So That's all your training. Just put yourself in this mindset, guys. Let me paint a picture. So you're in that mindset. You're a police officer. You've done X amount of years. You're a level, I don't know, level 4 public order officer. All your training has been to deal with far-right extremists, people throwing rocks, people getting leery. How do you deal with a nanan? How do you deal with a nanan just pushing through, cutting fences down? How do you deal with those nanans? I'm open to suggestions, guys. If there's any subject matter experts here, what do? Do you go wading in with bat and sticks? Yeah, that's going to look, the optics of that, guys, the optics of that are going to look good, yeah? So that's out of the question. So your weaponry, your shields, your bat and sticks, your defenses are impotent straight away. You're impotent straight away. You can't do anything because you cannot do anything. So you let the nanans push through, and then you've been defeated by a bunch of nanans. There's no solution to this, guys. I've said it all along, guys. And in Epping today, like within the last couple of hours, this has happened, ladies and gentlemen. This has happened. The nanans, the ladies, the senior ladies have broken through the fence, and they've just sat down. They just sat down on the floor peacefully. There's nothing you can do as a police. What do you do as a police officer? It's very difficult, guys. Very difficult to deal with that situation. Anyway, let me jump up, guys. Let me jump up. Sid is saying anything new to talk about. Sid's saying anything new to talk about. What do you want me to talk about, Sid? Sid Adams, you and your little footballers top, like, what do you want me to talk about, mate? Do you want me to Sid Adams, tell me what to talk about, mate, and we'll make this the Sid Adams show. Right, let me jump. The violence in Orford is the gardens, but mainly on the beach. Mikey, the violence in Bournemouth is in the gardens, but mainly on the beach, so policing it will be cool. Mikey is saying, have always, in fact, hang on, let me jump up. Mikey on TikTok, Mikey on TikTok is saying, have always said that these tactics with migrants is the Trojan horse. Yeah, I think so as well, buddy. All males, no families. Like, look, guys, this really happened now. This really happened, all right? There was, when the war happened, when the 2022 invasion happened of Ukraine, remember, the invasion started in 2014. So when the 2022 invasion of Ukraine happened, you literally had the men staying behind to go and like work, and the women and children and the elderly, they left. That's true. There's no denying that, guys. That is true. So like, I'm just going to leave it there, guys. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Right, is Sid give it right? Where's Sid again? Where's Sid? Sid is saying your analysis is becoming comical. Well, Sid, I mean, am I going to mute you or am I going to block you? I'm going to mute you for 5 minutes, Sid, right? Sid, you're getting muted for 5 minutes. Show some respect, all right? You don't have to like me, but you should respect my hair, all right? And I'm just going to leave it there, all right? You may not like me, you may not like what I'm saying, but you will respect my hair. I've muted you for 5 minutes. If you come back polite, Sid, if you come back polite, we'll have a conversation. I'll give you a little bit of airtime, but that's all I'm going to give you. If I see your comment, remember the chat is open. There's a lot of chat going up and down, guys. So I might not be able to get Sid's comment. If he comes back, you know, it is what it is. Right, I'm jumping over onto YouTube, guys. Junior Rogers is saying, oh, hang on, I think Junior Rogers has done a previous comment. All right, so Junior Roberts has done 2 comments. I'll give you his first and I'll give you his second. Do you think we will see scenes worse than last year? I have to be honest, Junior Rogers, I did. But I don't think we've had that catalyst. I don't think we've had that catalyst. Thankfully, we've not had that catalyst. As we're looking now, I don't see scenes as bad as they were last year. But I don't know how things are going to progress. What I have said is, and I'll give you this analysis, I think we're going to see scenes, and this is what I feel is most likely. I feel it's most likely that there's going to be a situation at a hotel where kids go and decide to do an unplanned protest or something. Then those kids are going to be, they're going to be doing their whatever. They're going to be causing trouble, doing illegal stuff, and they shouldn't be doing that, but that's what's going to happen. The inhabitants of that hotel are going to take it on themselves to come out and defend themselves. That's where I think you're going to see the flashpoint. To me, in my analysis, that's the most likely thing. It's not happened yet. I think it will happen. That's the most likely thing. And then he also puts, and I feel like I know you so well, yet you don't know me. Oh, Junior Roberts, Junior Rogers. Well, that's the way we roll online, guys. Like, you all get to see me, but I don't get to see you. That doesn't mean send me pictures of yourself. That doesn't mean send me pictures of yourselves. Jane Taylor is saying, I'm blocked. Jane Taylor, you are not blocked. Jane Taylor on YouTube is saying, I'm blocked. You are certainly not blocked, Jane Taylor. Tracy McKibben is saying, Sean, teach Sid about cousin marriages. Yeah, cousin marriages is not good, guys. Cousin marriages is not good. Let me get the statistics. Because this will get me banned, guys. This will get me banned. Right, so I'm just going to read you this. You know what? I want statistics. There we go. Let me get statistics. Because you know what? Statistics do not lie. They do actually lie quite a lot. Right, the truth. So I'm just gonna, do you know what? I'm not going down that road, Tracy. Unfortunately, I'm not going down that road. I'm not going down that road right now. I'll do that on another live stream. All right. What Tracy is alluding to there is the truth about first cousin marriages in Pakistan and other parts of the Middle East. I'm not going down it, guys. I'm not going to talk about the birth deformities. I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to talk about it, guys. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to entertain it. Or maybe I will when we go over to YouTube. Right, let me jump back onto this protest, guys. I do want to look at the protest in Epping and see what the latest is there. Right, 1 hour ago, amazing scenes. Over 500 people now marching to the council offices, led by the women. I told you this would happen.
From the Bell Hotel to the council offices. I don't think the police were expecting this at all. But again, everyone is behaving. It is a good mood. That's it. There is maybe, I would say there's maybe 500 or 600 people here now. What's happening? Now, if anyone wants to say that this is far right, they need their brain testing. These people.
Yeah, that's another good comment, guys. You know, these people are being flagged as far right, but if you look at the scenes of these people walking down the streets, waving Union flags, waving the cross of St. George, I don't know. Like, you know, let's have a let's see what the definition of far right is. Let's see if it's changed. Definition of far right UK. All right, okay. So let's see if this does fit in with the definition of far right. In the UK, the far right encompasses a range of ideologies that are broadly characterized by nationalism, racism, xenophobia, and anti-democratic views. These groups often promote the idea of a superior us versus threatening them, with a focus on protecting a particular national identity and culture, sometimes the exclusion or detriment of others. The far-right spectrum includes both racial and extreme right-wing groups, with the latter often associated with neo-fascism and white supremacy. So, I guess if this is the definition, where did it say? What did it say? Where you focus on protecting a particular national identity. So, yeah, I'm calling BS to this, guys. This is a woke AI. This is a woke AI. So AI is telling me now that if you focus, I'm calling AI is wrong. So AI is, look, guys, I use AI quite a lot for my thumbnails. And if you ask AI to say, like, I don't know, draw me a British couple, draw me a British family, every time it will be a mixed race family. If you ask AI to draw you a white British family, they won't, like, the software I use, it won't let you do it. It says this goes against our I don't know, our policy or whatever. So it's really difficult. So if you focus on protecting your own national identity and culture, you're far right. There we go, guys. That is the definition. That is the definition, guys. That is the AI definition. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what the Wikipedia definition is. Oh, I'm not going to read that, guys. That is that's a huge article. I'm not going to pretend to read that. But like my definition of far right would be my definition of far right would be people who are overtly racist. And that's disgusting. It really is, guys. What I always say on this channel, what I always say in my private life, we don't have the problems we have in our country are culture problems, whereby, you know, I don't know. Look at Chris Eubank, for example. Like, I will concede he's probably more of an English gentleman than me, you know. But like, and this is what we're talking about: culture problems, not race problems. Anyway, let me jump up. Let me jump up and get these comments. But sorry, I was digressing there. It does look like this is a. Does look like this is a woman's. It does look like this is a woman's. It does look like this is women are leading the charge on this, guys, and it does look like this is the Nanans conflict. Right, let me jump up and get some comments because quite a few these comments have jumped down. Primary school children, Kevin's saying. I don't know what that means. Hang on, where are we going here? I think we've missed some. Oh. Yeah, so so I've seen this. So Kevin's saying, did you see the article about teachers making kids send immigrants welcome cards? I did. I also saw that kids are having to send Valentine's Day cards as well. I also saw footage, a video of like two guys, they were two black guys, and they were playing on a park with two like young blonde white girls, and like they must have been like 10-year-old. And I was like, literally, like, where are the dads? Like, where are the dads right now? I mean, what is going on there? What's going on? Like right now, what's going on? I've also seen some footage of. Have you guys seen the footage of the guy on the train who just decides to drop his pants? Like, you guys know what I'm talking about? Do you guys know what I'm talking about when so there's a guy, there's this video storing around the internet. There's a guy on a train somewhere. I believe it's in London. I believe he's in London, and he's dropped his pants, and he's standing there, like, with his trousers down, and he's just shouting swear words. And like, this is in the middle of the day in London. I'm like, wow. Those guys must feel really enriched. They're like so enriched right now. It's unbelievable. They're all looking and they're thinking, wow, my life has become better. My life's become so much better. Like those kids on that train who are looking and they're like, oh, mummy, what's going on? They're like, don't look. You know, like that's where we are, guys. Now, a lot of people were saying that the gentleman dealt with the situation well. Listen, guys, it wouldn't surprise me if those gentlemen who dealt with the situation that's claimed to be well got some prison time for being being aggressive to a gentleman who was just trying to express himself culturally. You know what I mean? That's pretty. It wouldn't surprise me, guys. It would not surprise me. Right, let me get back onto this Epping thing, guys, because the Epping protest is being led by the women at the moment, guys. It's being led by the nanans. The nanans are leading the charge in Epping, and there is absolutely nothing that the police can do, guys. And I hope people catch on to this, guys. I hope people catch on to the fact that it's very difficult to deal with the nanans, very difficult to deal with women, very difficult to deal with children, although I'm not suggesting for 1 second children get involved, like sit on the sidelines, oh, hang on. Oh, hang on, this is interesting. So Pierce Corbyn, Jeremy Corbyn's brother, I think his name's Pierce, yeah. Pierce Corbyn, let's just listen to this, guys. Give me a second.
And do you mind up on this as well? No.
So this is Jeremy Corbyn's brother, guys. This is Jeremy Corbyn's brother. I don't know what he's going to say, but this is Jeremy Corbyn's brother. Let's see what he's got to say.
Good. So, first of all, just ask, what is your name and what's brought you to this event today? Yeah, I'm Pierce Corbyn. I came last week and I'm here to support the campaign to close this hotel. And we say here what should be done. I mean, the hotel should be closed and the boat should be stopped. And
wow.
The government are using this crisis as an excuse to bring in digital ID. And we're totally against digital ID. You don't need digital ID in order to stop a boat crossing the channel. It's complete nonsense.
Okay. And genuinely shocked right now, guys. I am genuinely shocked. We're listening to Jeremy Corbyn's brother. I mean, am I Team Corbyn now? Am I Team Corbyn? Am I Team Corbyn right now? So we have literally got Jeremy Corbyn's brother on here, Pierce Corbyn, protesting outside the hotel, saying he wants to stop the boats, and he's protesting with a placard that he's written on himself. What is going on in the world, guys?
Could you tell me your thoughts on people's safety in the area? Do you think it is a community issue?
I think it is a community issue, and people are right to rise up against it, if that's what they're doing, is there something close to that? No, I think that's right, and it's happening in a lot of towns all over the country. But the whole thing was created by the...
Sorry, Jenny's just saying, sounds like you're a Corbynite. Listen, guys, I'll be quite clear. The other day I was agreeing with Diane Abbott. Now I'm agreeing with Jeremy Corbyn's brother.
Government, deliberately. Because the rules are that the Navy is meant to rescue any boats in trouble.
No.
And take them to the nearest port.
What did I say? How many times, ladies and gentlemen? By the beard of Zeus and Odin's eye, how many times have I said this? I'm Team Corbyn. Raven is now Team Corbyn. Guys, how many times have I said that? How many times? Go look at my TikTok profile, guys. Go look at my TikTok profile. I've got a video. It's pinned to the top. I've got red MMA jeans on. Listen to what I say in that video. That video was over a year old, ladies and gentlemen. That video was over a year old. Now, listen to Jeremy Corbyn's brother. Just listen to what he just said.
It's happening in a lot of towns all over the country. But the whole thing was...
Listen to this, guys. Listen to this. He's literally confirming over a year after I said it, what I said a year ago.
Created by the government, deliberately.
Unbelievable.
The rules are that the Navy is meant to rescue any boats in trouble at sea, and take them to the nearest port. Well, they seem to wait until they cross the middle of the channel.
Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear that? Exactly what I have said from day one. You don't need to leave the ECHR. You don't need extra laws. You don't need extra capacity. You don't need millions and billions given into X, Y, and Z and new divisions formed. You literally put the Navy on the border. I'll play you again.
Because the rules are that the Navy is meant to rescue any boats in trouble at sea, okay, and take them to the nearest port.
What have I said, guys? All right, I think he's a little bit wrong. Take him to the nearest landmass. So the Navy, under international law, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, guys, if you're not watching this channel now, if you're not on here, if you've not liked and followed and subscribed, guys, you really need to. Like, I was talking about this over a year ago. Jeremy Corbyn's brother, Pierce Corbyn, has just said and confirmed what I said over a year ago, guys, over a year ago. Any vessel of the Crown has the right to take any vessel in distress back to the nearest shore. Literally, it's just been confirmed there. So what you do, it's going to cost no extra money. Do you know why it's going to cost no extra money? Because we already have the ships, we already have the Navy, and we're already paying them. We don't need to leave the ACHR. We don't need new laws. We don't need new legislation. Like what Pierce Corbyn just said there, when these boats come towards you, you say, right, that is a vessel in distress because it is not seaworthy. You go out and you tow it back to France and you say, there you go, you're all safe now. Off you go. You stop the boats within 6 hours. You stop the boats within 6 hours. Look at me, guys, please just look at me for a minute. Look at me for a second, all right? That's how easy it is. Why hasn't it been done? Why has it not been done? Ask yourself that. If it's that easy, and it is that easy, guys. I said it over a year ago. I said this, guys, over a year. Go look at my TikTok profile, guys. Literally, look at my TikTok profile, like the middle video that's pinned. You get 3 at the top and the middle one. That's over a year old now, guys, that video. It's over a year old. I was saying that this is how you stop the boats over a year ago. So why has it not been done? The simple solution is because the government don't want to. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. My opinion, my speculation, my analysis. That is my analysis, guys, that the government don't want to stop it. Now, if you start to ask the next logical question, why? That sends you down an absolute rabbit hole, guys, and it's a dark place, I'll warn you. Unbelievable, guys, unbelievable. Yeah, AM there was talking again. Look, AM's strong. In fact, guys, listen, guys, let me get to the end of Jeremy. What's his name? Pierce Corbyn's. Let me get to the bottom of this.
Well, they seem to wait until they cross the middle of the channel and bring them to England. Well, they could meet them the other side of the middle and take them back to France, which is where they came from.
And do you think these protests? Do you think it does have any effect? Do you think anybody is listening?
I think so, yes, because the numbers are large and people will start taking action, like taking over the town halls or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do not make this up. I do not make this up, guys. Literally, what he's talking about there is the winter of doom. What he's talking about there is the winter of doom.
And physically closing the hotels. Now, the governments are going to say, well, where are you going to put all these people? Well, they have to find that, but we don't want them putting council housing, removing people either. They've got empty prisons, like there's one in Wellingborough, waiting for people like us. Well, they could put those guys in there or send them back to where they came from.
One final question. If you had a message for Sir Keir Starmer, what would that be?
Well, a lot of things I could say. He should resign is the first thing, but if he doesn't do that, he should stop all the boats coming, close all the hotels, and the genuine refugees process and they stay, and the others send them back. And there's plenty of room in France, and no reason why they can't be in France where they can.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am genuinely shocked, gobsmacked. I can't believe what I have just heard. Guys, I cannot believe what I've just heard. I'm Team Corbyn. I'm Raven's Team Corbyn now. Like, didn't he speak so much sense? Did he not speak so much sense there, guys? Like, you know, he was literally saying everything I've said. It's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. What he said there is, he said, the next phase that will happen will be the winter of doom. People will understand that, right, the hotels are not closed. What do we do next? Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable. Right, guys, we have been on an hour on TikTok. I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys. I'm going to jump over to YouTube in a minute. We're going to be streaming on YouTube where I can talk a little bit more freely. I can talk a little bit more freely. I'm going to get a carbonated drink out of the fridge, and you guys can join me if you want. Tina Elliott is saying, oh, hang on, guys, let me pin this. Tina Elliott, thank you, Tina Elliott, so much. Tina Elliott is saying, Sean, you are always spot on. You made me see what's happening, and I thank you so much for that. And thank you so much, Tina Elliott, yourself. Thank you so much, Tina Elliott, for your kind words. I really do appreciate it, guys. I really do. I really do. I do hope I've opened people's eyes to what's happening, even with the restrictive algorithm on TikTok. But oh, hang on, Sean, want to raffle off a space at yours if the fan I can cook. Yeah, I did a video earlier. Just quickly, guys, before we switch over to YouTube. And if you've not done so already, guys, please go over to YouTube. Show your support on YouTube. Real Raven 1 on YouTube. Real Raven 1 on X. We will be continuing the live stream over on YouTube where I'm less restricted. But just quickly, I did a video earlier, and I was like, right, there's literally aliens heading towards Earth. We have got like a government that are making us poorer. We have got masses and masses of uncontrolled migration, wars in the East, wars in the Middle East, rumors of wars in the West. And like, at what point do people say, like, right, I am going full Mad Max. I'm going full Warlord. You know, I've seen all the movies. I Am Legend, Mad Max, obviously. I've seen all those movies. I'm 100% ready. I am going from zero to hero in literally as soon as I see that alien ship, guys, I'm straight in my war kit, leather jacket, arms ripped off, chaps, big stick, barbed wire. I am going full humongous. So Unicorn Poop is saying the aliens, I've heard they can stay in hotels for free. Yeah, maybe it is, guys. Maybe it is. Maybe the aliens are traversing the distance of space and time to come to the United Kingdom because they've heard they get a pretty good deal if they come here illegally. I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they're not. Right, guys, look, somebody called Naheem has just tried to join. Look, Naheem, my friend, first of all, we're jumping over to YouTube in a second. So, but if you want to join, guys, if you want to join, I don't mind anybody joining a live stream or doing a join live stream. You've got to email me first and message me because I've done it before where I click those things. And it's really weird because you get like just some random guys and they're like, give me money. I'm like, whoa. And I know with the algorithm now, it doesn't like that. So you're going to have to send me an inbox and we'll talk about what we're going to talk about, and then we'll do the live stream. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to turn this off now and I'm going to jump over to YouTube, and I hope to see some of you over there. And if not, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you guys in the morning. Real Raven 1 on YouTube, Real Raven 1 on X. And we're off. and we are off, and we are just streaming on YouTube. You civilized lot that have come over to YouTube. We can talk with a little bit more articulation. We don't have to mind our P's and Q's as much, although I think we should all mind our P's and Q's because it's just general manners. Look, guys, if you're arguing in the chat, and I don't know if anyone is, if you guys are arguing in the chat, keep it clean, keep it articulate, and just think, do you know what? Would I be able to take a screenshot of that and show it my friends? If you want to do that, that's totally fine. But anyway, where was we going with this? Right, let me jump back to the hotels. Look, guys, honestly, do you know what? I'm going to get this. I'm going to get this Jeremy Corbyn speech up right now. We're going to watch it together. Let me get rid of that one. So give me a second while I jump on this, guys. What do I search for? I'm going to search for Pierce Corbyn. Latest. Let's see if we can get this video. See if we can find this. Oh, I've not found it. Where is he? Where is Pierce Corbyn? I can't find him. Right, let me try Epping protest because that's where he was. Latest, right, let me see. I might not be able to find this again, guys. We may just have to listen to the audio. Oh, there he is. Look, there he is. Look, it's old. Oh, here we are. I've got it. Right, give me a second. Right, pause, share. Let me share this with you guys. This is a big deal, guys, and honestly, I am genuinely shocked. So play this.
So, could I first of all just ask, what is your name and what's brought you to this event today?
Yeah, I'm Pierce Corbyn. I came last week and I'm here to support the campaign to close this hotel. And we say here what should be done.
Just for context, everyone, this is Jeremy Corbyn's brother. Like, I don't know what the family dynamics are here. He's certainly talking sense, and I never thought I'd say that. I mean, I don't even know. I've literally been introduced to this guy right now.
I mean, the hotel should be closed and the boat should be stopped. And
like, who can disagree with that?
The government are using this crisis as an excuse to bring in digital ID.
He's right. He is absolutely right. If you think of problem, reaction, solution, the problem, migrants are coming. Oh, they're all working. They're taking your money. They're doing this. They're doing that. Right. What we need to do is we need to have a digital ID. That way, the migrants, when they come over, they won't be able to. You see where we're going with that?
And we're totally against digital ID. You don't need digital ID in order to stop a boat crossing the channel. It's complete nonsense.
Absolutely right.
Okay, and could you tell me your thoughts on people's safety in the area? Do you think it is a community issue?
I think it is a community issue, and people are right to, rise up against it. If that's what.
That's quite an epic statement. But isn't like, well, let's just play, guys. Let's just play.
They're doing, is there something close to that? No, I think that's right, and it's happening in a lot of towns all over the country. But the whole thing was created by the government deliberately, because the rules are that the Navy is meant to rescue any boats in trouble at sea.
Did you hear that, guys? Literally, like, go on my TikTok profile. At the top, there's a pinned video, and I explain exactly what he's saying now. Over a year ago, I did that video.
Okay, and take them to the nearest port. Well, they seem to wait until they've crossed the middle of the channel and bring them to England. Well, at sea, okay, it's meant to rescue. The rules are that by the government deliberately, because the rules are that the Navy is meant to rescue any boats in trouble at sea, okay, and take them to the nearest port.
So the term is vessel in distress, and you're allowed to take them back to the nearest landmass.
Well, they seem to wait until they've crossed the middle of the channel and bring them to England. Well, they could meet them the other side of the middle and take them back to France, which is where they came from.
And do you think these protests Do you think it does have?
And literally, if you did that, it would cost nothing, like £0, nothing. It wouldn't cost a penny to do that. We already have a navy that's paid for. We already have ships that have been paid for. We already have military service persons on salary that are being paid for. We don't need any more money. We don't need to spend any more money. You put the navy there, use their ships, and then you send them out to send them back. Easy. It's not going to cost anything. Now, listen to this bit, guys. What he's going to talk about now is what I've said, or what I've said a lot of videos, the winter of doom. So we're going to head into the autumn of contemplation, and then we're going to head into the winter of doom. And this is what's going to happen, more or less.
Any effect? Do you think anybody is listening?
I think so, yes, because the numbers are large and people will start taking action, like taking over the town halls or something. And
so that's what he's talking about there, people taking the next step. Because if people understand, because if people feel like nobody's listening to them, if people feel like, oh, we did all these protests, we spent our money, time, effort, resources, and nothing happened, then, you know, it's still happening, it's getting worse and worse, then they have to take it up a step. And the next logical step is the winter of doom.
Physically closing the hotels. Now, the governments are going to say, well, where are you going to put all these people? Well, they have to find that, but we don't want them putting council housing, removing people either. They've got empty prisons, like there's one in Wellingborough, waiting for people like us. Well, they could put those guys in there or send them back to where they came from.
One final question. If you had a message for Sir Keir Starmer, what would that be?
Well, a lot of things I could say. He should resign is the first thing. But if he doesn't do that, he should stop all the boats coming, close all the hotels. And the genuine refugees process and they stay, and the others send them back. And there's plenty of room in France, and no reason why they can't be in France where they came from.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely bonkers, ladies and gentlemen. I can't believe what I've just watched. I guess I'm a Corbynite now. I'm a Corbynite. I am. Like, you can't disagree with what he's saying there. Look, guys, I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know Jeremy Corbyn had a brother. I'm getting introduced to him now, and he seems all right. What's going on with that family dynamic? Anyway, let me get some of these comments. Lions is. Oh, hang on. Right, yeah, guys, I'll jump onto the protests in a second, guys. Pierce Corbyn looks a bit scruffy and in need of a meal, to be honest. Like what he's saying, though. Yeah, right. Let me see what's happening with the protest in Epping. From my analysis, I speculate. Well, I'm not speculating. From what I've seen on open source social media, hang on. So what I've seen on open source social media, the protests in Epping do seem to have more energy. I'm just going on to Adam Brooks now, because he does seem to have the, right, I'm going to play this.
That but people are waking up to the nonsense that has been fed to them via the media over the years. It is not possible.
So he's talking here about the women of Epping are leading the way. This is going to be a nana's war, guys. This is going to be a nanans war. So all you nanans out there, all you nanans, and you're like, oh, I want to do something. Like, you guys are going to have more collateral than, like, it's very easy, but it's not easy. It's well understood how to stop a group of rioting men who are getting angry. You're going hard on them. A group of women, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with a group? Like, how do you deal with a group of mid to late, ladies who are in their mid to late 50s? Like, how do you deal with those as the police force? Sorry, guys, let me continue.
Has been fed to them via the media over the years. It is not far right to oppose people coming from other countries where we don't know their backgrounds, their age, their histories,
One of the things he's saying there, guys, about the backgrounds, and I know I say this quite a lot. I say this quite a lot, but it's a good analogy. And I don't know if you've heard this before. I don't know if you're watching for the first time, but the analogy I give to this, in fact, you know what? I can give you guys another analogy. When I was in this is a true one. This affected me. When I was working in southern Iraq, working for BP, my interpreter came in, and it looked Fahed. He looked really sad. I said, "Well, what's up with you, Fahed?" He said, "Oh, Sean." He said, "Oh, Sean, today it's a really bad day." I said, "Why? What's wrong?" He said, "My what did he say? My wife's friend has been, she's had she's dead." I was like, "Oh," I said, "Dude, how did that happen?" He said, "Oh, she was murdered." I was like, "What?" I said, "How? Tell me, mate. Tell me what's happened. Is there anything I can do?" He said, "Oh, her brother. It was her brother." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, it was her brother." I said, "Stop." I said, "So your wife's friend has transcended to a beam of light, and it was her brother that did it?" "Yes." "Why?" Again, guys, listen, this is what he told me. All right. This is what he told me. So this is like, this is what he told me. Because she got another, the thing that happens between the crime that a man commits towards a woman, that happened to this lady. So her own brother transcended her into a beam of light. So I said, "Wow." I said, "Gee," I said, has he been sent to prison?" He said, "Oh yeah, the police have come and taken him and they've sent him to prison." I said, "Oh, well, at least he's not going to be out for a long time." And he said, No. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "They made him paint the bars in the prison cell and sent him home." Now, if that's true, I don't know if it's true, guys. I'm saying if that's true. And you guys can ask me to repeat that story in 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, and I will tell you the exact same story. So, because it's true, because that's what he told me. So, in that context, that person, do you think that person's had, and I don't know how often this happens or whether it even did happen, guys, I need to caveat that. So, that person who did that to their own sister, do you think they've got like a CRB check? Do you think they've got like a criminal record that's traceable? Do you think they would, like, if they came to the United Kingdom right now, even though they've done that in their own country, they would pass a CRB check, I guess. They would pass, and they'd be able to act as security on, they would be able to, be employed as security. Absolutely bonkers, guys. Absolutely bonkers. Right, I'm going to jump and get some comments. Tim Linsky is saying a civilian boat can do the same. I believe so as well. I believe a civilian boat can do the same as well. Get the fishing trawlers and fishermen who can't fish to tow them back to France, like D-Day. I think I think you would come into legalities there because of you would have to use force. If you use the military, totally fine. The military are ready for that. I mean, the last thing we want, the last thing anybody wants is like a fishing trawler going up to try and tow a migrant boat back, and the migrants end up taking control of the fishing boat. That'd be embarrassing. Weasel on Diesel is saying, I agree with what Corbyn's brother is saying, but I'm just thinking more bull for votes. New party, let's build the numbers. That's how I feel about all of them. I don't know. Is he, maybe, do you know what, Weasel on Diesel? Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Look, guys, I'm being introduced to Jeremy Corbyn's brother for the first time right now. I didn't even know he had a brother, but apparently he does. Apparently he has, hang on. Apparently he has a brother, and apparently his brother is quite reasonable. Rocketman Gaming is saying, I heard protesters have to end for around 8 p.m. Don't know if it's true though. So what I think the police do, the police put in something called a dispersal order, and that dispersal order will give them more rights to arrest. So you wouldn't have to, when a dispersal order is being called, you don't have to suspect someone of doing a crime to arrest them. You have to, and again, look, guys, I'm not an expert on law or legislation or policing, but as I understand it, a dispersal order gives the police the right to arrest people if they suspect that they may commit a crime. So you don't, if a dispersal order is being called, so I don't know, for Epping, for example, say a dispersal order has been called in Epping. They say, right, at 8 o'clock, dispersal orders in place. That means that anybody that the police suspect may commit a crime can be arrested, as opposed to they need to suspect that they have committed a crime. So it just gives them greater powers of arrest with those dispersal orders. Right, let me have another search, guys, and see what's happening. Massive crowds of British citizens block roads in Norwich. We're recycling a lot of news, guys. I think the protests have been relatively uneventful. I will say that. I think they've been relatively uneventful. Yeah, there's not real. And look, guys, I don't know if there's a media blackout on this. I don't know if there's a media blackout on this, because I know for a lot of things there is. It's like really difficult to like search for these things because you just can't search for it. Oh, it's in 2024. Yeah, very peculiar, very peculiar. I would have expected to see a lot more. Let me have a look on YouTube real quick. I would have expected to see a lot more videos, a lot more streams, a lot more posts. But again, look, we're in that new world now, aren't we? We're in that new world of censorship. We're in that new world of letting the government, the government decide what is happening and what can be, what can be shared and what cannot be shared. Right, let me jump on this. There's a live stream from Mystic Media. Mystic Media is doing a live stream. Let me, I'll skip the ads. I'll come right to the end. See what's happening now. That's gone. Hang on.
Back to your thoughts. We need to unite against this government and what's happening in this country. So no matter what, be there on September 13th.
Something's going off there.
Okay, Glenn's gone. Right, I can say something. I can say something else.
Anything
I got the mic now. James says something. James has something he wants to say. I said.
Yeah, I'm not. The only, the Epping protest, I saw the most energy in Epping. I think that they're trying to be too organized, guys. These protests are trying to be too organized. People need to stop thinking and start doing. I guess the government have got people, really buckled down because people are scared. We've got the case of Lucy Letby, obviously, where, she's been jailed for 2 years and 7 months for a post. Look, guys, and I'm not making this up. I've said it quite a few times. A gentleman in the United Kingdom got sent to jail for 20, guys, I'm not, I'll get it up on the screen. In fact, I won't get it up on the screen. A gentleman in the United Kingdom got sent to jail for 20 months. Oh, hang on, a gentleman in the United Kingdom got sent to jail for 20 months for shouting at a police dog. And look, guys, I'll be quite clear. I love those police dogs. There's little Malinois and little tails and little black noses, and they're so obedient. And I love those Malinois. But if somebody my friend's got a Mal, and if somebody shouted at his Mal, I wouldn't expect them to go to jail for 20 months. I just think you're a bit of a dick. Why are you shouting at a dog? But that is not, in my opinion anyway, shouting at a dog is not a 20-month jail sentence. So I think people are worried. But look, guys, like, what's his name? I don't even know his name. Jeremy Corbyn's brother, whatever his first name is. Like he said, the next stage of this is people taking over town halls, people taking more direct action, people closing things down themselves, because the root, unless we address the root cause of this, and again, he said it perfectly. I said it a year ago. The root cause of this is the amount of people that are coming into this country. I do think it's to bring in digital ID. I do think it's to bring in the crypto pound. I do think it's to bring in universal basic income. All these things, guys, it's all connected. It really is. And then at some point, there's going to be a US takeover of the United Kingdom. And that's it. We literally have Oceania and Eurasia. Literal George Orwell's 1984 played out in real time. How can it be racist? It's a dog race. Yeah, maybe it was racist against the dog race, and he's saying, you dogs with your fur and your teeth. I don't know. It's insane. Oh, and then from now, he's saying he called the police tog a... All right, okay. Well, look, okay, I don't think he should have said that, absolutely, right? I would not have said that at all. And if I was there, I'd have probably called him a dick. I would say, dude, grow up, you're shouting at a dog. First of all, he doesn't understand you, and the dog's beautiful, and it will literally, like, take you to the candy shop. But I don't think he should get 20 months in. I don't think he should. I'm sure I said Lucy Conley, guys. Did I say Lucy Conley? Did I say Lucy Conley? Did I say Lucy Conley or Lucy Letby? I'm sure I said Lucy Conley. I did a video where I said Lucy Letby because I've been looking into the case, the curious case of Lucy Letby. Guys, look. I'm not going to throw it out there yet, but there are a lot of question marks over the Lucy Letby case. There's a lot of question marks over the Lucy Letby case. A lot of the shift, there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't add up for me anyway. I'm going to have to wait till more information comes out. Anyway, let me jump up. Lincolnshire Templar is saying there are no live streams anywhere on here. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. You would expect lots of live streams, we'll find out in the next coming days. People will put videos and say, my live stream was closed down, my live stream was shut. Look, guys, there's a song somewhere and it says the revolution will not be televised. I guess we could now double that up and say the revolution will not be live streamed. I don't think it matters. I think what we've got now is local people uniting and also dividing. We've got people, like we saw earlier, guys, and I've said it so many times, this is a Nanans conflict right now. It's a Nanans conflict. Wherever this is on a peaceful footing, like the Nanans need to push the way. Like, can you imagine how scared you're going to be? And honestly, guys, like, when you're stood there as a police officer or a member of the security forces, when you're standing there with a riot shield, it's scary. It is, guys. It's scary because you're getting these people coming up to you and they're really passionate. And you're like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I just know I've got to stand here with this riot shield and, like, stop these people. That's my job. That's what I do. Rear front. But now we've got the dynamic where because this problem's so big, we have got a dynamic now where you've got the police officers with the shields. You've got a dynamic with the police officers with the shields. And some of them, I said, a lot of them have got kids and they're thinking, these people here are shouting, protect our kids. I've got kids, ergo they want to protect my kids, and I'm opposing them. I do think we're going to see those signs, guys, those scenes pretty soon. I think we're going to see those scenes pretty soon. But what I'm getting at is very difficult to deal with women and children. Very difficult to deal with women and children. I know, like, soldiers who just like, oh, it's women and children. Just call it off. Call it off. We don't want to deal with that. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that children get involved under no circumstances. But Nanans, You guys are more than willing and able, and we've just seen it in Epping, to walk forward, to, you know, and we've seen it in Epping, to cut through fences, to sit on the road peacefully. Very difficult to deal with, really difficult to deal with if you're a police officer or a member of the armed forces. Jane Taylor is saying 20 months for words, yet violent criminals now alleged to be let out on tag. Yeah, have you guys heard that? What's his name? There's that guy. He was on a, like, I don't know. Let me find him. So you've got this guy. Let me find him. Right, so you've got this guy, Pakistani man jailed in UK. Do you know what? I'm gonna have to get this up because I'm just gonna get this up. I'm gonna get this up. And we're gonna look at it. We're gonna look at it together. You guys know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to. I just don't want to say these things. I struggle. I struggle with my own articulation to say such rude words. But we'll get it up and we'll read it together. So, here we are, guys. Pakistani man jailed in UK for threatening to that aerostess mid-flight. Now, it gets worse. He didn't just do that. He threatened. Let me see if I can see it here. I want to find the actual transcript, what he said. So, hang on. Right, the situation. Right, I'm trying to get the transcript here. Right, right, here we are, guys. Here we are. So this is what allegedly. Sorry about these ads jumping up, guys. So this is what allegedly he said. I guess it. You know, like, can you imagine that? Can you guys read that? So. Like, who says that? Like, who says that? And what is happening with these flights from the UK to Pakistan and from Pakistan to the UK? Like, do you get on these flights and they say, here, drink this? Or is it something else? It's unbelievable, guys. It's unbelievable. You know, he got 15 months for that, which I would say is a lot worse than what Lucy Conley did, guys. I would say that is a lot worse than what Lucy Conley did. And Lisa Jane is saying, that's awful. Lisa Jane, that is awful indeed. I mean, if you can imagine, like, I don't even know what happened. I mean, I've not been on first class that often. They do have, like, on those Virgin Atlantic flights, they do have a pretty comprehensive bar. I think first class and business can use that bar. But yeah, you can imagine, can't you? And allegedly, as I understand it, he actually named the hotel that this girl was staying in. And just to say, drag you out. Gang. Why is it always a gang? Why is that? You know the thing that like we're talking about here. Why do they always do this in gangs? I don't know. Why? What is it about doing this thing in gangs? I don't know. Do they feel they can only perform if there's like 4 or 5 dudes around them with big beards? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's just really strange how it's like, we're gonna gang. I can't do it on my own, but I'm gonna get my gang. I'm gonna get my brothers with his big beards. Anyway, I don't have a beard, guys. I try and be clean shaven as much as I can. Yeah, look, guys. There's a lot of comments on this, guys. I don't want to go on that. I do want to continue on the protests. So look, guys. The crux of this video: mass protests hit the UK. I'm thinking right now that there has been a lot of I'm thinking right now that there's been a lot of censorship with these live streams. I'm actually shocked how little live streaming has been done. I would have expected that there would be a lot of live streaming done. I was expecting a lot more. I've not really seen that much. I think what we're going to find in the next couple of days is, oh, hang on. Yeah, I think what we're going to find in the next couple of days is people coming on doing videos and saying, "Look, you know, I was trying to live stream, but you know, for whatever reason, I was restricted. I had my account restricted. I couldn't live stream. I couldn't get a signal. Stuff like that. I feel is going to come out in the news. But look, guys, the main event for me this evening is meeting Jeremy Corbyn's brother, and everything he said, literally what he said about the ships, what he said about the Navy being able to tow vessels back to the nearest port, although I think the legislation is any vessel of the Crown has the ability to tow any vessel in distress back to the nearest shoreline. I think that's what it is. Even so, it doesn't matter. I'm just being semantic. So that's a thing. Go check out my videos on TikTok, guys. I did that like over a year ago. I was talking about that. So what is going to be coming next? What's going to be coming next is it does look like the winter of doom is going to follow the autumn of contemplation. And by the winter of doom, people are going to start targeting things. At the moment, these protests, they're willy-nilly, they're out there, they're protesting outside a hotel. They're not really affecting the decision makers. Like the decision makers on these hotels, who opens these hotels, they're sat in Westminster, they're sat on yachts, they're earning money, they're taking out tax money. So until people will understand, and people will soon find out that affecting those people. So I don't know. Let's just say there's a hotelier called what's that guy on Snowpiercer? Wilford, and he's called Mr. Wilford, and he's a big hotelier. I think of Mr. Wilford. He's got his three-piece pinstripe suit on. You know, people will soon start to realize, and people will soon start to understand that they need to be protesting at Mr. Wilford's house. And that's what I think the direction is going. And if that doesn't work, it will escalate. And look, guys, it is going to escalate because it's inevitably going to escalate because the flow of migrants isn't being stopped. But look, I do think the flow of migrants myself will stop before the next election. I think Keir Starmer will do exactly what I said. You don't need new laws. You don't need new legislation. You literally put the Navy on the border and tow the ships back. Oh, vessel in distress in the water. Don't worry, the Royal Navy will save them. Yep, there you go. Back to France, you're safe now. Oh, no, we wanted to come. No, that vessel's not seaworthy. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. That's it, done. Simple. You stop the whole you stop it in 6 hours. 6 hours you stop it, guys. And I mean, 6 hours from Keir Starmer saying yes, let's do it. In 6 hours, there's no more migrants. That's what I'm talking about, guys. It will take 6 hours from Keir Starmer. I'm not even speculating anymore. It will, in my opinion, it is my opinion though. It may take a little bit longer than 6 hours, but I would say, I mean, you've got ports there. It would take 6 hours from Keir Starmer saying, yeah, get a couple of battleships on the, get a couple of battleships on the channel. Soon as those dinghies come out, they're vessels in distress, you get them and you tow them back. That's it. As soon as you tow one back, the others are like, oh, well, we're just going to get towed back. There's no point going. And they're like, yeah, that's exactly it. And if you keep coming, we'll keep sending you back. That's all you need to do, guys. You stop it within 6 hours. Again, it's not happened. Why is it not happened? Because the government have not said for it to happen. Why is that? Because the government don't want it to stop. Why is that? And if you keep asking the why and the how and the who and the when and the where, you go down a rabbit hole, guys. You really do. Not Philip Gray. Yeah, Philip Gray says we need a leader with balls. Listen, Margaret, this would not happen on Margaret Thatcher's watch. I can guarantee that. Freya and Nicola. Hello, Freya and Nicola. They don't want it to happen. Yeah, exactly. So the next logical question would be, why don't they want it to happen? Well, they don't want it to happen because there's an agenda coming. They want people on digital IDs. They want people on universal basic income. They want people in 15-minute cities. They want to be able to close people down with the touch of a button. And that's what's coming. It is coming, guys. And Freya and Nicola are saying hiya back to you, Freya and Nicola. Rocket Man Gaming is saying he's getting his pockets filled so he won't stop them. Here's another thing. What happened with those 3 Ukrainian models that attacked Keir Starmer's house? Where did that go to? Let me just Google this real quick. Where did that news headline go? This is jumped out, guys. Can you guys remember when Keir Starmer, well, I'll just read it here from the Daily Mail. So this is from the 6th of June. Oh, a Ukrainian and a Romanian model accused of arson attacks on a car and properties linked to Keir Starmer will stand trial next April. 3 foreign nationals, so many questions, guys. So many questions. Now, look, guys, I am not saying that this is the case, okay? I am not saying this is the case. What I'm doing is I'm asking you a question. Do we think that there's some sort of super injunction on here? So you guys know, like the Afghanistan, the absolute scandal with Afghanistan. I don't know if you guys know how deep that actually goes. The Afghanistan scandal, the list that was released, you know, there was like 20,000 people on the list, or I don't know. I think it was like 20,000 people? There was like 20,000 people on this Afghanistan list. You know, those people on that list, they were not people who'd worked with the military. They were just people who'd applied for a visa to the UK. A lot of those people we don't want. A lot of those people had been rejected. A lot of those people they'd been rejected before. But because they were on that list, we took them all. We didn't just take them all. We took them all. We said, we're going to give you a house for the rest of your life. We're going to give you money for the rest of your life. And we're going to look after you for the rest of your life. They did nothing. They got their visas rejected. But there was a super injunction on that. So a super injunction is that the media are not allowed to talk about it, and they're not even allowed to say that they know there's a case that it's happened. So I'm thinking now with this with these Ukrainian models, I'm thinking, is there some sort of like super injunction with this, that a Ukrainian model and a Romanian model and a third man? Like, how did they know where Keir Starmer's stuff was? Why did they attack him? Where? How did this piece together? Are we just saying that like some Ukrainian kids just decided to like attack Keir Starmer? Oh, like let's go and attack the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. How did they know where he lived? How did they know what cars he were using? And again, these are only, what we know from the media is that these are properties linked to Keir Starmer. They're not his properties. That's what it says. The media says properties linked to Keir Starmer. Lots of question marks on that case, guys. Lots of question marks. Positive programming for mind, body, and spirit is saying, from what I understand, the World Economic Forum are controlling everything. The politicians are just the puppet. But then who's controlling the World Economic Forum? That's the question. Who's controlling them? Who said that? Somebody said, Tracy McKibben is saying, because Keir Starmer is compromised. Listen, guys, you guys know, right? You guys know, and I'm not going to tell you any, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm not going to tell you guys anything that is not available on mainstream media. Oh, hang on. Speaking of that, Lucid Letby is just trending. So somebody just put, look, guys, I swear I don't make this up. I swear I don't make this up. I was literally just talking about Lucy Letby. Somebody has just, I'm just going to read this, guys. I'm going off topic and then I'll come back to what we were said. So somebody just posted, I'm concerned by Lucy Letby's conviction. She must be released and there must be an urgent retrial. Much of the expert evidence used against her was flimsy, contradictory, or speculative. Trial by speculation and deceit. Key material wasn't disclosed to both sides, with powerful new evidence and analysis emerging. The CCRC, I don't know what that is, must act without delay. This case demands a swift retrial to the Court of Appeal. I'm also concerned with the standards at the Countess of Chester Hospital. This is the one, guys, given the CQC have just rated it inadequate and found it falls short of legal standards. I'm not going to say anything. With all of this considered, this is not justice. My thoughts remain with the babies who tragically died. Look, guys, that just jumped out there. You know, that just jumped out there. I'm just leaving it out there, guys. I'm leaving it out there. But there is a lot of question marks over that case, guys. You guys know I've been looking into it. I've been looking into it for quite a while. But right, let me jump back onto these comments. Sorry, guys, that just jumped up on my feed. He must be listening to me. Philip Gray is saying, has anyone linked the fact that we have a birth crisis? Yes, which has a knock-on effect when it comes to pay. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so look, guys, Philip, absolutely perfect. Yeah, so has anyone linked the fact that we have a birth crisis which has a knock-on effect when it comes to pensions? At the current rate, pensions will collapse. Could be why they're letting them in. Yes, I agree. And what's going to happen is, we're already at saturation point, but the more we can get in, the more lucrative it will be. Now, hear me out. Let's just say we move on to a new financial system. Let's just say the United Kingdom is the first country to implement universal basic income, whereby every man, woman, child, maybe not children, maybe when you're 16 or something, every man and woman over 16 or whatever would get £1,600 per month on a little card, maybe even on an app on your phone. Digital ID, anyone? But you have to spend it within that 30-day period. So you have to spend that money. Now, you can only spend that money in registered shops and businesses. So what that does is that makes absolutely everyone want to register for it. They say, do you know what? You don't have to have it. You don't have to have universal basic income if you don't want. But if you do want it, get the app. So everybody's going to get this app. And then the retailers, the restaurants, the pubs, everybody then is going to want to be able to get that universal basic income. So what they're going to do then is all the pubs, all the retail, all the businesses, they're all going to have to register with their little app. So now you control the supply and you control the demand. And you control you control the supply, you control the demand, you control the finance, you control what can and cannot be spent. So then if a shop starts selling Union flags with Keir Starmer, we don't like Keir Starmer, they say, turn that shop off. If people's mobile phones are seen at a location that were protests, turn that mobile phone off. If, for example, there's a medical emergency and people have to have a certain type of medical intervention, they say, everybody, come and get this medical intervention, or you'll not get your universal basic income. You see where that's going, guys. And once that happens, the more people you have in the country to spend that money, the more money those people at the top will get, because the more money are spending, the more stuff's moving around, and the more flow, because we don't produce anything in the United Kingdom anymore. We don't, and the birth rate's gone. Anyway, that's my take on it, guys. That's my take on it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I've almost been on for 2 beautiful hours with you guys. The crux of this video is mass protests in the United Kingdom. The main event for me, guys, is meeting Jeremy Corbyn's brother. Hang on, guys. Let me just jump on this. I'm worried they'll force this universal income on us by fearing us. Yeah, I think so as well. Big things like Project Bluebeam, yeah, financial crash, or both. Yeah, do you know what? Positive probably mind about it. Yeah, I think both could be coming. I think both would be likely. Problem is they're not working and claiming benefits. It's not going to. No. So universal basic income, everybody gets it. You get that regardless, whether you're working or not. So everybody in the United Kingdom would get universal basic income. You can still have a job. You can still claim benefits, I guess, if that's the way they roll. So this is just a way to stimulate the economy. And right now, guys, look, we are in late-stage capitalism. The financial system that we have is absolutely broken. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go now. It's getting a bit late. It's almost 10 o'clock. I hopefully will be on in the morning. I'll hopefully be on in the morning at some point. I'm going to really try and find out why they were not, I'm going to really try and find out why there were not enough, why there seemed to be, there were limited live streams today, guys. Limited live streams from the protest. Listen, guys, if you're on and you've not done so already, can you please hit that follow, what is it? I don't even know. Subscribe, bell notification, like, share, all those things right down there, guys. Can you do that? It really helps me out. Share my stuff on your socials, guys, because that helps me out again. I will see you guys in the morning, I hope.